Alright, hi guys, this is Paul. I'm broadcasting from Cam Ranh City right now, and I at this really beautiful coffee shop. And for any of you who don't know, who just came to the channel, we are the physical trader. My team focusing on talking about building a long-term relationship in commodity trading, where we help you to purchase product at the right quantity, right quality, without have to worry about getting scammed for the next 20, 30, 40 years, or even to your next generations. And we only focused on building long-term relationship business, long-term business. And hope you enjoy and having the same vision with us. In today's video, I would love to talk about why working with clients that having a unsustainable business gonna damage your business and slow down the progress of you make it to your goal. And usually any of you who open a business always thinking about having a business that could handle a large volume transaction, having a lot of client, having multiple client, but most of you not clarify that client clearly yet, and it's make you extremely hard to building a sustainable business, because when your client is a person who constantly in the need of just common thing in life, might be they don't have enough money to put their kid to college, they have enough money to eat the meal, they have enough money to having a nice home to live, that's gonna come back to you if you serve that client. And why? Because themselves don't have a sustainable business. And when your client don't have a sustainable business, you yourself gonna have no sustainable business. Let me tell you guys a story. Around 3 years ago, when I started to run my first business, oh my bad, it's around 2 years ago, when I was distributing fruit in the central of Ho Chi Minh City, the biggest city in the north side, in the south side of Vietnam. We have been a little store that we borrowed from my aunt, and we use that to storage the fruit and distribute to people at a quantity of 50 kilograms, 100 kilograms, 120 kilograms. And I still remember at that time, our revenue was is extremely small. It's around $5,000 for each month. And I'm focusing on selling to people who selling fruit in the central of Vietnam, a really small mom and pop homes, or even street vendor. I still remember there's one time where I get on a motorbike with 100 kilograms of avocado on my back, guys. We're using a string to attach it to the motorbike, and I drive it and deliver it to the home of a client. He's having his home to selling fruit. He's using the outside face, the face to the street of the home, in order to open a store and selling fruit. And I still remember, at that time when I walk into the store, I drop out the avocado to him, and then I go next door to his neighbor next to him and deliver the same product, the avocados, because they are selling the same type of business. They have the same type of business. They both selling fruit in the central market of Vietnam. So when I drop that to her, he immediately getting mad, guys. He getting really mad, because to him, I just taken away his living by give the avocados to another person. Because himself, he in the position where he have to using that to make a living for his family. And even though just a little bit less in the amount that he's selling each month, gonna constantly affect it directly to him. At that time, I couldn't understand, guys. I couldn't understand why he getting so mad just because I deliver the avocados to the other person. For now, I know because he have the unsustainable business, the business that cannot grow, the business that cannot make himself in a comfortable position. So he have to constantly looking for the way in order to make his business alive, so that he could at least afford his life. And it's a stressful business because at that time when I selling to this client, the stressfulness of my mind is constantly increased every minute. Every minute I selling to these people, they never ever being nice to us. They cannot. They always have to looking for the way to make us a little bit lost, make us a little bit lose on money. They try to do dirty trick in order to purchase from us and make us have to damage for all these things. And I still don't understand why is that happen. Why the people could running business happily without to doing much, and me at the times I have to go out there constantly looking for new clients and still getting suffered by this client because they never being nice to us once. Just because they have a tough life, they have a tough business model where they have to doing these things to survive. And that's one example, guys. Another example is that a couple of days ago when I go back to Cam Ranh City, I go and met one of my brother friend, and he was selling a plastic bag by a really small quantity. All right, really small quantity. Every month he's selling about 10 tons of plastic bag around the whole city. And if you think that a lot, no, guys, not a lot. For he paid for the rent of his store, he paid for the electricity bill, he paid for the labor that he having run out, the gas they have to put into his bike to deliver to other people. It's an extremely stressful business. He has to wake up around every couple of days at 2 a.m. in order to lift 1.5 tons or 1 tons of product down from huge truck and then put it to his store and then go back to sleep, wake up early in the morning, then deliver these things to his store and then deliver it to the clients. It's an extremely tough business to be in. So I constantly ask him more about the business because I feel like we had a common mistake at the times, you know. So he told me that he is not making much profit, around like $1,000 a month only. And guys, it's a sustainable amount to living in Vietnam, but it's not a good amount to run a business. It's a really bad amount to run a business. But either way, get back to the story. And I asked him about his client, and he told me that he was selling into a small mom and pop vendor on the street. You know, the lady who's selling fruit, the lady who's selling some desert of Vietnam, the traditional desert. And they constantly, these people have to fight in order to keep their lives running. They have to live a really tough life. They make a very little profit, might be $300 a month, and they have to pay for all the bills in this planet. Just as same as all the people. They have to put their kid into school. And he tell me that sometimes this client, they're asking for a loan just for the small amount of plastic. Might be 5-10 kilograms, and they have to asking for the loans for it. It's not comfortable, guys, because they have no comfortable life. How could they comfortable with you? Because when they're thinking to themselves, hey, if I'm not paying him for the next 10 days, I'm gonna have extra $50 in my pocket in order to pay for my bill, in order to give my kid a chance to go to school. And these things make that business model is just tough, extremely tough. But if he go there and selling to the huge coffee shop like this, for you guys to know this coffee shop, this cup, this one is provided by him. This one is provided by him. This straw is provided by him. So when he's selling to big store where they make a really sustainable living, they sell a bunch of cup every single day. They sell at the price where they can live. They have a sustainable business. then they're not being rude to him about the money because they don't have to fight for every dollars, for every cent, every money in order to live their life. So if you started out there running business, you have to first thinking about, hey, if you want to sell this products, is your client able to afford a comfortable life? If they cannot, then you're gonna have a suffer life. So at least your client have to able to afford a comfortable life for you to live the comfortable life, so that they're not gonna do nonsense thing to you, so that they're gonna have a reasonable reason in order to talk to you. My dad always taught me, guys, I have a great dad. He taught me that if you sell to people who cannot afford their life, then they cannot afford to be nice with you. So that's the video for today. I hope through these two stories, you could understand about how important it is to have a sustainable business with your client, and also how important it is to having a client that have a sustainable business. When they have sustainable business, that business is going to run for 10, 20, 30 years, or even until their next generations. And you could serve that client 10, 20, 30 years, or till your next generations. And we have been a group of that. That what make it powerful, and make it able for us to keep doing the business, keep growing the business, because the value of each client is infinity. All right, guys, bye. Uh, Thank you for listening to the video. Hope to see you guys soon. Say hi.
Bye. Nói vậy thôi.
Ok. Thì tôi quay xong cái video rồi.